Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't give.
Hey, what up? It's your girl, China name. Miss I cook, I clean, I fuck, I shut up. Thursday, April 18th is going down the annual I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General Yahanna's all-black party at the Durham Armory. Doors open at 8 p.m. featuring live music and DJ by Party Boy Ticket. It's the annual concert series, and it's gonna be a movie. I need y'all to pull up or shut up. I shut up. Submissive women, they demand too. Ripping out the magnum, pussy ran through. That's why your baby daddy can't stand you. Keep some clothes on, leave them curious. That's why these niggas don't take you serious.
I.S.U.P.K. presents the 55th Annual Passover Corsage. Order now. Only $10. The red corsages are for the married sisters only. The white corsages, sisters must complete 6 months in the school. Contact your camp leader now. Order now. Only $10. You must complete the payment. Pre-order your corsages now. Also, the 55th sister to pre-order will win one of these amazing handcrafted leather accessories for your wrist. Click the link in the description below to pre-order your corsages now.
Shalom, Israel. The I.S.U.P.K. is hosting the Lord's 55th Annual Passover with a all-access pass to the lamb slaughter, all-black party, scripture breakdown class, kids party, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Get your all-access pass at ISUPK.com, starting with April 17th events with the lamb slaughter at 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in North Carolina. Make sure that you get involved. Make sure that you're in the house at 1921 Strickland Road, Clayton, North Carolina. Followed up on April 18th, Thursday, the all-black party. I.S.U.P.K. concert series in Durham, North Carolina at the Durham Armory. Last year we tore it down, and this year it's gonna be a whole movie. Then Friday, we have the kids party with a petting zoo. On top of that, it's going to be held at the Sky Zone Trampoline Park with virtual reality included. Get your all-access pass at ISUPK.com. April 19th in the evening, General Hyman's scripture breakdown class. You already know we got the heavy hitter in the building, and it's going to be at the South Square Event Center. Make sure that you're in the house starting at 7 p.m. in Durham, North Carolina. Then April 20th, the moment you've been waiting for, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. make sure that everybody's in the house, and it's being held at the last Black National Fairgrounds in Pittsboro, North Carolina, starting at 6 p.m. Also housing an actual slave quarters, which you will be able to go and take pictures and video footage in front of it. That's 191 Fairgrounds Road, Pittsboro, North Carolina, April 20th, starting at 6 p.m. with doors open at 4 p.m. for a brunch. Make sure you're in the house on time. Then April 21st, Sunday, is the Feast of Unleavened Bread at the Haiti Heritage Center, 804 Old Fayetteville Street, Durham, North Carolina. Make sure that you are in the house. If you have not booked your hotel room, there are still a few rooms available at the Millennium Hotel. Check the number. Make sure that you call. Rooms are only available while they last. The Lord's 55th Annual Passover, hosted by the I.S.U.P.K.
Shalom, DC. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been telling the truth of the Bible. And the truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressors, the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not affiliated with any other Christian group, Christian church, or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home of the truth. It's not under commanding General Yahanna. It's not the truth. We're gonna go over Easter and how it is pagan and what Easter is really about. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tell you what Easter really is about, and we're gonna tell you how they turn, you know, what's supposed to be one of the glorious high holy days. You know what I'm saying? They tried, and they are actually succeeded. But you know, people, Most High God's people is actually waking up. They're trying to turn, you know, one of his high holy days into something as pagan as, you know, a bunny laying eggs. Has nothing to do with Christ resurrecting or anything like that. We're going to destroy that all here tonight in a hot second. First, and I'm gonna be real quick about it because I got something to get off my chest, because it was something I seen on Netflix. I was just talking to Barack in here. Let's give Barack a hand. You know what I'm saying? And we was just talking about how there's something on Netflix is just, you know, I know it pissed him off, and it pissed me, and he didn't even watch it. It was just, you know, it just angered him even more, just like it angered me. Man, I was ready to throw something through the goddamn TV. So like through the TV, the first 6 minutes of it, because I paused it and I was like, man, I'm just looking at him like, you serious? Are you serious? First few minutes of it, I'm just ready to, you know, I just couldn't stomach anymore. Whole time I had to, you know, when I sat down to watch it the first time, that first 6 minutes, I just had to turn it off. I just had to, no, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I had to take a break. I turned it off, and it didn't come, and then I came back to it. Like, you know, like the next day and whatnot. But this garbage, and that's exactly what it is, garbage. Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you a whole lot of stuff about this crap. Man, they got so many holes in it, and then just such blatant whitewashing in that crap, that garbage. Warm garbage. That's what it is too. It's warm garbage. Like come on, son. But we're going before we get into that, we're gonna get into where the only time Easter is actually mentioned in the Bible. The only time Easter is actually mentioned in the Bible. Barack, what I need for you to pull up for me is a strong concordance. Yeah, on a computer, and just get ready. Just get ready to go. But before that, we're going to go to Acts 12:4. Let's get that. And this is going to be the only time Easter is actually mentioned. Or what? No, yeah, go see if you can get to the Strong Concordance and you where you can actually look something up. And then you're gonna share it where not share, but you're gonna put it up next to me where they can see it. But we ain't gonna go there now, just yet.
And it's as long as it's just using, because I have something here. So make sure that,
What you mean?
like pretty much that it's good, what you're looking for. So you're talking about not the actual book, you're talking about where you can search it up and you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So before we do that, we're gonna go to Acts 12:4. Where you at, Acts? There you are. Let's get to chapter 12. And we're gonna get verse 4. Besides, also, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, anybody wants something broken down, or anybody have any questions going on, just go ahead and type it in the chat. We're gonna get to it lickety split. All right. Let me know if anybody has anything online as well. No sign in Christ. All right, now where are we?
Acts 12:4.
Yeah, Acts 12:4. Read that, Baba Shah.
The book of Acts.
The book of Acts, chapter 12, verse 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Okay, so right here. Now people say, Easter's in the Bible. It's right there in the Bible. Let's see what they're talking about, because they said they're holding somebody until after Easter, right? Now, just in case y'all know, Salakia. So they're saying, they're gonna hold this person, and who they're talking about is James, the brother of John. Wait, he killed James, the brother of John. Oh, they're taking Peter, so they want to kill Peter after Easter, right? That's what they want to kill Peter, right? So right now, this is some people will say, look, Easter's in the Bible. Easter's in the Bible. Well, what does the Christian church think Easter is? What does the Christian church believe Easter is?
From what the church, and just growing up in the Christian church down in the South, nationwide, the Christian church recognizes Easter in some resemblance and form to the resurrection of Christ.
Yeah, that's what they believe, right? And they always believe it's on a Sunday, right? They believe that Christ was murdered on red rummed. I can say that they can say he was red rummed on Friday, and they call this good. Now I went over this on Sabbath service. How in the world can you say this is good when your king, all these Christians, confess that Christ is their Lord and personal Savior? But what is good about your king being his name dragged through the mud, lied on, libel and slander, and all that stuff? Esau's words and whatnot. They basically lied on him, ruined his. Well, I ain't gonna say ruined his reputation, but they tried to ruin his reputation. Arrested him falsely and accused him of things that he never did. He did nothing wrong. And then when he was set to when the judge said, well, we can either set Christ free, or we can set this murderer who we know done killed a bunch of people. We can set him free. Who do you want to set free? And they said, set that murderer free and crucify Christ, your Lord and personal Savior. So he done went through the false trial, the biased trial, and then after he was convicted by his own people, because y'all was like, hey, if I was back then, I was probably with them. You know what I'm saying? We said his own people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, said that we would rather have this murderer go than let Christ go. You got some?
So like, if I mean, how we say in the black community, it be your own niggas.
It be your own people. It be your own people. You know what I'm saying? It'd be your own people. And then once he was convicted, then he got tortured. That was part of the punishment. And after he got tortured, he was mocked and humiliated by stripping him down to next to nothing. And then and he was mocked even more by putting a crown of thorns on his head, saying, you're the king, right? You're the king of the Jews. Here's a crown of thorns put on his head, and was forced to march through the streets half butt naked. When that's totally against our culture. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we do. That's not what we do. That's what Esau does. That's what Ham does. We don't do that stuff. I know it sounds different because that's what we do now. This is the things that we do now is not what we do. That's not our culture. Force him to march through the streets, and then was killed red rum slowly, very slowly. I don't know if you know this, but once they put them up on that cross, you know how you pass away? You suffocate slowly. You slowly suffocate, and that's how our king was red rummed. And you want to call that day a good day? And you say you all for Christ and whatnot? You saying that's a good day? No. Now, what he went through, he had to go through. So in order that we can come back and still inherit the kingdom and still have the inheritance that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now it had to be done. Just because it had to be done doesn't mean it was good. Doesn't mean that death was should be celebrated as like, hey, yes, like where the Christians do it. Nah. Furthermore, they say he rose 3 days later, right? That's the way the Christians say it, right? So if your boss, let's do this, very practical. All right, we're gonna get to that in a hot second. Let's say your boss, we're gonna add up these 3 days, right? Let's say your boss comes up to you on Friday and say, you've been doing a good job. I like the way you've been doing, I like the way you've been working and whatnot. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the next 3 days off. I don't want to see you around here for 3 days. Now we say, cool. We already making plans on what we're gonna do for them 3 days, right? We making plans. Let's count that out. So he told us on Friday, right? So I'm off on Saturday. I'm off on Sunday. I'm off on Monday. I come back to work on Tuesday because I had 3 days off. He said, you got the next 3 days off. Come back 3 days, on Tuesday. And then your boss comes to you and say, hey, I gave you 3 days off. Why weren't you here on Monday? I'm like, well, damn, you told me I was off for 3 days. So I was off. I didn't come in. You know what? Since you don't know how to count, you're fired. You know what I'm saying? Now, would you fight that? You damn right you would fight that. Because I just counted. I'm at work on Friday, right? So, and he said you off for the next 3 days. Let's see. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. How in the world did Christ die on Friday and then get raised back on Sunday? Y'all niggas can't count. Slack it. Someone is telling you wrong. And you're celebrating the wrong thing every single year. I just destroyed that with universal and practical knowledge. Now, how can you put that together? How can you put that together? It doesn't fit. It just absolutely doesn't fit. In the meantime, you want to know what it really means? If you could, get me Ishtar, because that's what it's really about. Yeah, Ishtar. But before you do that, read out what the But the question is, Baba Kashan.
From Akira 76, Salagi, sir, may I receive a breakdown of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4, the water in advance.
1 Corinthians 7 and 4. 1 Corinthians 7 and 4. Let's take a look at that. Let's give this sister a hand. Let's give this sister a hand. Because she stays asking questions about, about how to keep that marriage strong. And if she sees something that she doesn't understand, no sweat. This is exactly what all of our people are supposed to do. Ask questions. I don't understand this. What does this mean? Because the Lavender Lads will say this, and I think they do say this. I think this is what they pull to condone, SA assaulting their wives. This is exactly what they pull to condone assaulting their wives. And that what this is saying and what they are saying, it's two totally different things. This is yet another reason why we say we're not affiliated with anybody else that calls themselves Hebrew Israelites. Just because you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian does not mean you understand what these scriptures are about. But we're going to get the real breakdown of what this is about. We're going to get the real breakdown of what this is about. Before we get this, do you have Ishtar? Do you have it saved away?
I have it.
No, but you have it, at your, you can get it.
Just not a breakdown, but
now we just going to get into it, but before we get into it, let's go to 1 Corinthians 7 and let's start at 1. Right here, this is talking about how to keep a marriage strong. That's what this whole chapter is about. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this whole book, is about but we're just going to focus right here on 7 and 4, but we're going to start at 7 and 1.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman.
All right, now I'm gonna say this. The Most High calls extremists. You know what I'm saying? And Paul is that nigga. He's saying, it is good for a man not to even touch a woman. Why is he saying that? He's saying that because and it's a certain type of man. When I say a certain type of man, I'm talking about priests and prophets. Those men that are willing to go out there and do the work of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because a woman can draw your attention away from what you're supposed to be doing. Good example is Elijah. Well, how do I know this? Is because the Most High told him to do something, and he just wanted to be laid up on his woman until the point where the Most High took that excuse away from him and told him, "Don't even mourn. You can't even mourn. Don't even cry." You know how you get whooped when you was a kid, and your parents say, "Don't even cry. Fix your face." Fix your face. That's what happened to him. The Most High took away his excuse not to serve him. In other words, he gave his prophet's wife a stroke, and she died in her sleep. He's like, now what's your excuse now? Don't even cry. I don't even want you. Can't mourn. No, you can't mourn. In the law, it says if a loved one is passes away, you're having a lot of time to mourn. You're like, nah, you ain't got that. Go get up and do the things that I tell you. Now, this is what he was talking about. Paul was talking about when he was like, it's a good thing not to even touch a woman. Why? Because once you take on a woman, you take on her issues as well. Whatever it is that she has, it may be little issues, it may be big old great issues, but they're yours. And you have to deal with them. And the more you deal with them, it seems like the less amount of time there is in a day to deal with the Most High God's orders. And you better prioritize that correctly, or you're gonna get spanked just like Elijah got spanked, right? So this is what he was saying, right? Keep reading.
Verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
Nevertheless, to avoid unlawful sex, right? To avoid laying with a heathen, or to avoid laying with a woman and throwing her away, to avoid laying with laying with children, or to avoid laying with someone else's woman. That's for all of that is fornication. To avoid laying with mankind, fornication, right? No diddy. Pause. Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Right? Get you a woman. Get you a woman. So that you won't commit sin. Right? If you're not strong enough to go the route that Paul is going, that's no problem. There's no sweat. There's no law that's saying that you cannot have a woman. There's no law that caps you at a certain number of women. But he said to avoid fornication, go ahead and get you one or two, or whatever your appetite, says, dictates, right? Keep going.
And let every woman have her own husband.
And let every woman have her own husband. Now that goes for the woman too, to avoid fornication. Let your woman go ahead and get you a man, right? Keep reading. Now this is some guidelines, some rules that we supposed to adhere to keep the marriage as strong as possible, right? Keep going.
Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence.
He says, read that part again.
Verse 3, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence.
He said, when she wants that, give her that thing. You know what I'm saying? I can go so. Yeah, exactly. You get you some fire and tie it to that tail. Let her have her fill. All right. That's what that means. Read the next part.
And likewise also, Salakia. And likewise also the wife unto the husband.
And the wife unto the husband. Now, woman, you're supposed to do that with your husband as well.
Give him some.
Get right, exactly. And we're not talking about Captain Zariak's oil. Give him some. This is how you make the marriage stronger. You don't withhold due benevolence. You do not hold the pleasure that comes with the night because you mad or because whatever, or because you had some dream that he went out and or he was talking to that dumb whatever. Nah, you ain't supposed to do that. Now the question is in the fourth verse. Let's keep reading.
Verse 4, the wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband.
The wife has not power over her own body, but the husband. Now, if you listen to anybody else other than the priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General Yahanna, you would see that, and you would say that the husband, can do anything he wants to the wife. That is absolutely wrong. Wrong. What this means is that just like in verse 3, you're supposed to lay with your husband. You're supposed to do this. This is part of the work that comes with the marriage. You're supposed to do it. Now, even though if you're supposed to do it, That does not give the husband the right to take it when she doesn't want to do it. There is absolutely going to be times when the woman is tired, the woman is overworked, the woman is exhausted. She's on her monthly. There's going to be times where she just like, all right, damn, get off me. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be those times. Lay off. You know what I'm saying? Just lay off. This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why the Most High God said it was okay for a man to have more than one woman. This is just one of the reasons. If wife A was like, hey, I'm just tired. I don't feel pretty. I don't feel, whatever these women say, because it's true. Sometimes they just don't feel desirable. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, go get your mind right. Go take this bubble bath. You know what I'm saying? Get you a glass of Chardonnay and read your novel and whatnot. Go and relax. I'm going over here to wife B, and we're gonna do that thing. We're gonna do what the pleasure that comes with the night, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 4, the wife have not power over her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife.
So what does that mean? That means you cannot purposefully withhold, do benevolence from your spouse for reasons that's not right. Here's a reason that this doesn't apply to. Like I said, the woman is on her monthly, right? The woman's on her monthly. That's a law. You can't go into her like that. Leave her alone. Let her body rest. You know what I'm saying? Just leave her alone. Another one is if both of y'all discuss the issue before. And when I say discuss the issue, I'm talking about like if you guys are going on a fast and y'all both agree, hey, during this time period, we're going to refrain from, do benevolence. I'm gonna call it that. I don't know if we're gonna get kicked off or whatever. I'm gonna call it do benevolence. We're gonna abstain from do benevolence from this point in time to this point in time. You know what I'm saying? And y'all both agree on that. Then that's okay. That's not what this is talking about. Now, if one person says, I want to abstain, but the other person's like, nah, I got to have, that's too long. You talking about X amount of weeks? Come on, son. Come on, Slim. You mean to tell me you're going to be walking around here with that juicy booty and I can't have none? for this amount of weeks? Nah. So both got to agree. And then you're like, all right, okay, well, that's a little too lengthy. You're right. I don't know what I was talking about. Something of that nature. But that doesn't mean you should go to the scripture and say, nope, you have to give me some. You have to give me. Nah, if the woman doesn't want to give you none, just leave her alone. And don't think I don't know about you women who be like, nah, if a dude's working out here in construction, it's about to be summertime, and he's working 12-hour shifts, going to work an hour there and an hour back, 14 hours a day, and he's dead dog tired, and he's like, hey, I'm tired. Can you just leave me alone just for tonight? You can't go to scripture and say, nah, nigga, you gotta give it to me. This scripture says you must give it to me. There are times where it's like, hey, come on. Tired, boss. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep reading to further understand the scripture.
Verse 5, defraud ye not one the other,
Keep going.
except it be with consent for a time.
For how long?
For a time.
For a time. And this is saying that it started out with saying, defraud ye not. Don't defraud, you know what I'm saying, because, he didn't pick up his drawers in the bathroom. Now you ain't giving him none. Like, you serious? That's defrauding him. if he, you know, if he's on a game, you know, for a long time, whatever, or he's out with his boys and whatever, and then he comes home and he's he's coming home to his woman, and you like, nah, I wanted you home by midnight, and it's 1:30, and you now you saying no, the box is locked up. That's defrauding them. That's what I'm talking about. Except you come together and y'all consent, saying, hey, well, from this time to this time, we're not going to do anything. And it's for a time. It's not just like, hey, I got a headache, and okay, yes, you get headaches. No problem. Everybody gets headaches once in a while. Take the night off. But you got a headache for the next 7 weeks? Nah, man, something wrong. Something wrong. And you know you ain't got a headache? Something's wrong. Okay, well, maybe we should go to the hospital. Maybe we should get you checked out. We should get you checked out. If there's nothing, if the doctor says nothing wrong, now we should go to counseling. Now we need to go to counseling. Why? Because it's been weeks and we have not agreed on this time frame, this time period that we said we wasn't going to. We haven't agreed. You just said we wasn't going to do it because it's excuse after excuse after excuse. You're defrauding your husband. Now we don't went to the doctor. It's not physical. Now we got to go to counseling and see what this is really about. Get to the bottom of it. Why? Because you defraud for whatever reason, and you'll find that out during counseling. Whatever reason, you're gonna find that out. You have some?
The sister asked, "What if she's with child?"
Can you elaborate that on that just a little bit? You're saying, what if she's with child?
She ain't responded yet, but I believe she's talking about if she's with child, the whole thing, not the consent thing, and for a time, and is that through deliverance, rather be the sister wanting it or not, if I may.
I think we was about to say the same thing, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I had the microphone off. I believe the sister was referring to like that time of consent, or this the due benevolence that is owed between a man and a woman. But if I may, the Lord said, lend the ear to the physician. Even a doctor tell you that it's healthy for you to tie fire, even if she is with child. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. She said if she's pregnant and just not feeling it for longer than usual.
No problem. Okay, so if you're not feeling, this is going back to what I'm saying, you know, if you have an issue, whatever the issue is, and you ain't feeling it, work on your game. What's that?
No. Okay, no, I thought she responded again. That's a lot.
Work on your game. You gotta, as General Muhammad would say, you know, you gotta get that thing oiled and ready to go. Now there's a certain time period, like especially in the beginning part of that pregnancy. She ain't gonna be feeling. I get you. Lay off. You done did the job. So you're successful. You planted that seed. Lay off for a hot second. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a time when she's about to bust. Actually, I think, you know, during that time, from what I understand, for the most part, every woman is different, but for the most part, the woman wants that thing. Like, hey, you know, I'm ready to get this kid up out of me. You don't have to go and do your job. And I'm not letting you rest until you do your job. You know what I'm saying? So if you could just wait it out. If she's not feeling it, that's fine. Let her not feel it. You know, get her in a better space so that you can spit that, you can oil that thing up again. And then you find her off. You know what I'm saying? Get your game up. You have some?
I was gonna say like the same thing, like a sister, like, you know, she not feeling it, you know. It's cool. You know what I mean? There'll be another time, but like
Go to the
I
bench.
would
Slack.
right.
My bad.
Hit the showers, right? But like the nasty behind purple pigs, and they leader would tell you that like you can, if a man wanted, no matter how you feeling, it don't matter you know, if you want it or not, because you a woman. You understand, the purple pigs, they'll tell you that you have to obey your man, and if he wants sex and you don't want to give it to him, you must give it to him. That's considered the all word.
Yeah.
That's considered the all word for sure. But of course, the spirit of the Bible is not taking advantage, you understand, of a woman or a man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same token, not, you know, like the scriptures say, withholding it to where, you know, it's more so you know, your attitude, or, you know, y'all gotta, you know, whatever beef with one another and all that and above. You know what I mean? But I was just pointing out, like, there's groups out there that's teaching men and women, you understand, that if she doesn't want to be touched or have sex, that if he says so, she must do it. Yeah, that's not the spirit of the Bible.
Yeah, that is far from the spirit of the Bible, and it's far from what the Most High intended for His people. You know what I'm saying? You just think of if you had a daughter and she was subject to that, you wouldn't want your daughter subject to that. So these laws are made by a father. He doesn't want his daughters being subject to being having someone force themselves on them. No. That is not, absolutely not the spirit of the law, of, you know, of what this is talking about. That is absolutely not the spirit. Number one, it teaches you to have some discipline. She says no, fine. No. Why? Why not? Yeah, right. No actually means no. And here, no actually means no. What the scripture says, let your yeas be yeas and your nays be nays. No means no. No means no. You're gonna have to come back with some more fire, you know what I'm saying? Spit a little game in her, a little better game in her ear. Buy her some flowers, you know what I'm saying? Get her some coffee in the morning. Make her do something to make her be like, you know what? Well, goddamn. Do something, because you know why? The men in here know what to do to be in a situation, in a position to have to fight them off. Whereas people in the other places, they teach them, hey, to take it. No, that is absolutely not the spirit of what we're talking about here. And while we're at it, we ain't supposed to really be talking about, but while we're at it, I don't understand these sisters out here that have a man, won't give him none, and won't want him to go and get it from somewhere else. Get angry and upset that he got it from somewhere else. What goes through the psyche? I want to know what goes through the psyche of these women. Like, I ain't gonna give you none, but you better not get it from nowhere else. Like, are you? Go ahead.
Pray on it, sister, because if it's Officer Barack on the line, forget about it. I would not be with.
Shalom. Let me say you this. It's your prerogative to say no before the marriage chamber. It's your prerogative, when I say before the marriage chamber, before you actually get married. It's your prerogative to say no during your marriage. You can still say no, yes. And the men up in here will honor that. No problem. You have some sort of issue, whatever the issue is, there's rules and regulations for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going according to the law. You know, that thing not oiled up tonight, no problem. I shot my best shot. No problem. Hold on, let me go to it. Hey, Shalom, sister, what color panties you got on? You know, and that's wife number whatever. That's wife number whatever, and you going over there and you doing that the joy that comes with sleep over there. All right. Do we finish off? Let's finish off number 5, and then we're gonna keep going on with the topic at hand. You could, Baba Shah.
You said keep going with number 5. Finish reading.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency.
Okay, so right here, it's like you guys.
So lock it. I had to pull it back up. 1 Corinthians 7 and 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except to be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency.
All right, so right here it's saying, don't defraud yourself, don't defraud each other, unless y'all both come into agreement saying we're not going to do this for a certain period of time, right? And basically that, when you come together and say we're not going to do it, it's because you're praying and fasting. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who will be praying and fasting for 5-6 weeks, but it's a certain time period, and then you come back together and break that fast. You know what I'm saying? Unless Satan's gonna come through and be like, you know what? It's a 6th week in a row. This dirty heifer done got a headache. You know what I'm saying? She done got a headache. I ain't see her take not near Advil. I ain't see her not putting no water thing, rag on her head. She up here smoking, laughing and joking, not smoking, but just joking, talking on the phone, laughing all loud. She got a headache. Why she talking so goddamn loud? That's Satan coming into the head and dealing with your inconsistencies. So don't withhold due benevolence from one another. It's not just a woman to a man. Men do it to women too. I mean, it's not a lot of documented cases out there, but it does happen. It does happen. I hope I answered that sister's question. If I did, if I didn't, just let me know, sis.
She had another question.
Let's go.
Same sister, Salaki said, may I receive a general breakdown of number 6, chapter 6, verse 2. Is this concerning divorce?
Number 6 and 2. All right, let's read it.
Number 6 and 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
The book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, whether either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord.
No, it does not mean. No. That is not divorce. That is not divorce. No, it's just what that's saying is matter of fact, keep reading. Keep reading.
Verse 3. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and
so from wine and strong drink, right? Keep going.
And shall drink no vinegar of wine.
No more wine. Keep going.
Or vinegar of strong drink.
No more strong drink. Keep going.
Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes.
Nope. It looks sound like some more wine. Keep going.
Nor eat moist grape or dried.
Right.
All the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk.
Man, it sounds like eating something. Right. When they say separation, it's the Nazarite vow is to abstain from certain things, right? Keep going.
All the days of thy vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled, in which he separated himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and he shall let the locks of his hair,
braids of his hair,
of his head grow.
right?
All the days that he separated himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. He shall not make himself unclean for his father or for his mother, for his brother or for his sister.
All right, okay. So basically, this is the Nazarite vow, and it has nothing to do with divorce. It's making a vow to the Most High, and it's sort of like, you know, how do I put it? You're abstaining from certain things that you know that is legal, that is lawful, I should say, that is lawful, but you're just abstaining from those things and dedicating yourself to the Most High. It has nothing to do with divorce. The Most High God does not condone divorce. Even when Moses married a Midianite woman, a Hamite, and he was leading the children of Israel out of, you know, Egypt, his brother and his sister was like, man, get rid of that heathen. She don't belong with us. And the Most High God stepped in and cursed Miriam, gave her leprosy for talking against Moses. And Moses had to step in and say, hold up, Slacky, sir, please don't kill my sister. Please. And he was like, all right. Because you the man, Moses, I'm gonna stall you out. But that chick better watch her mouth. Matter of fact, you know, she gonna stay leprous, and that's what leprous means when you turn in the scriptures, where you turn like a she devil in Miriam's case. You know what I'm saying? She turned like I heard was it Michael Irvin, the football player? I heard him talk about a party with Mike Tyson. He called white women pink toes. He was like, so he turned her into a pink to pink toes, and she had to stay outside of the camp for 7 days until she regained her color, and that was because she talked against Moses. So the Most High, even though Most High was in the laws that's in the book of Moses, you know what I'm saying, that they were actually reading, never says anything about divorce. Doesn't say anything about divorce. And they were here since Adam. So the Most High was saying, no, he's with this woman, and she's going to stay with him. Even though he married outside of his nation, the Most High God said, "Nah, you staying together," because he values marriage. Now, don't you take that and say, okay, well, if the Most High God values marriage, I'm gonna go out here and marry a Hamite or Ishmaelite or someone other outside of the nation of Israel. No. What that means is we was all in captivity. You know what I'm saying? And we all of us, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, did not know who we were. And we have done some things that are binding, like marriage. Now, if you married a heathen, that's your heathen wife. That's your heathen spouse until death do you part, or until she or he says, I don't want you anymore. And then they leave. Let them go. Let them go. You didn't leave them. And that's what's important to the Most High. You stay with them. If they choose to leave, go ahead. Let them choose to leave. Matter of fact, let's get that. If the unfaithful will depart, let them. If you can get that, Baba Kashaw, I think it's in the New Testament. Same. I told you it was about, marriage and whatnot. 1 Corinthians, hold on, where you at? 7 and 15. All right, go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart.
Let them go. Let them go. I think we read this to the sisters as well before. Keep reading.
A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases.
See, even then they're saying, you can't make them stay. They want to go, let them go. Let them go. But if they want to stay, let them stay. Keep going.
But God have called us to peace.
But most High God has called us to peace. Now, let this be clear. I want to make this absolutely perfectly clear. If you are a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, and you are was married to a heathen before you came into the truth, just know that they can't come to the cookout. They can't come to the Passover. They can't come to any of the high holy days. They can't even come to class. You understand? Let me just make that perfectly clear. They're not persona non grata in I.S.U.P.K events. Absolutely cannot come. Now they're in your house, no sweat. Let them stay in the house, but they can't come into to I.S.U.P.K events. All right. Is that anything else? That was it. Okay. Ishtar. Let's get back to Ishtar. If anybody else has any questions, go ahead, type them in the chat. Anybody else wants to break down on anything, go ahead, type them in the chat. I didn't forget about this this docu-series that pissed me off ever so much. Man, let me tell you what. Yo, first 5 minutes. Well, no, let's get it. Yeah.
Ishtar, the principal goddess of the Babylonians and Assyrians, divinity of love, fertility, and war.
Divinity of love, fertility. That's where your Easter egg, the bunnies and the eggs is manifest. Why? Because when you if you see if you have bunnies and they mate quite often, and they have a whole lot of little bunny babies. And them eggs represent fertility, just like the goddess Ishtar, so-called goddess Ishtar. That's what you're celebrating when you're celebrating, Easter. It's nothing to do with the resurrection of Christ. It has nothing to do with the Bible. Now, it did say in Acts 12:4, did say the word Easter. Let's go to the Strong's Concordance. And let's get what it says in the Greek. Can you get Acts 12:4? On the okay. Now, what word? Yeah. Share it to the screen. Tell me what word, because this is in Greek as of right now. What word is given for Easter?
We looking at G3957.
Yep. Uh-huh.
All right.
And tell me what does it say in Greek? What's the word in Greek?
Strong's G.
Pascha. Now that's a word that's used for Easter in Acts 12:4. Now it has a concordance and it tells us what it means and what Easter was translated from the Greek. Now let's see what it actually means. Now, if you can you look up G3957? Because that word actually and see if you can put it up on the screen as well. It is okay, so they can see. Y'all can see. I ain't lying. Yeah. Okay. That's what we got now. What is the word? What is Easter in Greek? It's called Pascha. What does that mean?
To pass over.
The what?
To pass over. To pass over by sparing. The set also constantly use the Chaldean form, except in 2 Chronicles.
Now, What was the first thing it said? To what?
To pass. Oh, so like it says of Chaldean origin compared to Hebrews 6:4-5-3, the Passover.
The what?
The Passover.
So right here, they're talking about the Passover. That's what they're talking about. When they say, you know, we'll wait till after Easter, no, they're talking about we'll wait till after Passover. Because why was Christ in Jerusalem during that time? He was there for the Passover. The Last Supper, that was the Passover. That's what that was. They're celebrating the Passover. Has nothing to do with bunnies, has nothing to do with eggs, and has nothing to do with this goddess, Ishtar. Has nothing to do with none of this. This is pagan. Now, why in the world are they so I grew up in the church. Right? Not once. I remember learning about the Passover and when they had to take the blood of the lamb and paint it over the posts of the Israelites' doors and whatnot so that the death angel would pass over them. I learned about that. But we did not celebrate the Passover. We celebrated Easter. Why are we celebrating Easter when it's only mentioned one time in the Bible? It's only mentioned one time in the Bible. And when we went to see what that word actually means, it was mistranslated to be the Passover. So if we learn about the Passover, and I didn't know that the Passover had to do with us, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, why are we celebrating Easter? Why is it Easter Sunday? Why is Big Mama coming to church with big ass hats on? Why? Because it's all white supremacy. If you could give me that scripture where it's, I think it's Moab, where it says, you know, if we get them to disobey the Most High God, was it in Apocrypha? Was it Moab or was it Ammon? Well, let's get it. Ishmael? I don't think it was Ishmael. We're about to find out. We're about to find out because this is the real reason why we celebrate Easter and not the Passover. Christian church, you know, they know about the Passover. Why ain't they celebrating it? And part, man, I just want to go so many different places. A part of that that docuseries. Part of that docuseries that they said it was they had a coon up the slack. I don't think I can say that. They had a what's that? Was it Uncle Ruckus up there? They had that. It seemed like it was two ditties up there. I'll put it that way. And it was a bunch of people who thought they knew a lot about the Bible, but they knew nothing. You know what I'm saying? They even had some Muslims up there talking about it, which it made no sense at all. It made no sense at all. Why is a Muslim subscribing to the Book of Moses, and they're saying he's Islam, he's Islamic or a Muslim or whatnot, but they clearly say that he's a God of Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph, the God of the Israelites. Y'all niggas are stupid, slack it. But that, what are you holding? Read that.
It's
Judith chapter 5, verse 1, and then it's verse 20 and verse 21. Starting at verse 1, the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 1. Then was it declared to Holofernes that the chief captain of the army of I.S.U.P.K, that the children of Israel had prepared for war and had shut up the passages of the hill country and had fortified all the tops of the high hills and had laid impediments in the campaign countries.
Right.
Skipping down to verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
For all the world. So basically what they're saying is, and they knew this way back when. They said if we get them to sin against their God, we can destroy them. We can do whatever it is we want to them. Why? Because their God is not with them. However, if they are actually obeying their God, we're going to be the example of, to the whole world, just like Egypt was. We're going to be that example. Their God is too great for us to go up against them when they're obeying their God. What we need to do is get them to sin. And how are they doing that? They're doing that right now by telling us that bunnies lay eggs, and that Christ rose at 2.5 days after he was red rummed, when it had nothing to do with that. And this is what they're telling us, so that we can stay, in the conditions that we're in right now, so that we can actually stay in the slum, so that we can stay, the biggest news in our community right now is, where is Diddy? Did he do it? Who survived Diddy? And we're making fun of it. You know what I'm saying? We're making fun of it. When how far have we fallen when we're literally called the princes of power? That is Yasha Allah. We are the princes of the power, and we got to deal with Diddy's shenanigans. We got to deal with Sexy Red. Salakia, she ain't sexy at all. But how far have we fallen? This is why we're in this position right now. Why? Because we keep listening to bubble-headed Negroes that honor Martin Luther King, when he's the one who helped usher in the devil, the liar. Let me tell you how much these guys lie, man. These guys lie so much. Yo, so man, like I said, first 6 minutes, I just had to turn the thing off and just but anyway, so everybody know, or if you don't know, the story of the Passover. I'm just going to try and break this down real quick because we only got about 15 minutes left. Story of the Passover. Pharaoh, okay, so man, where do I even start? We was in Egypt. We came over to Egypt. We came into Egypt 70 souls, right? We came over there 70 souls deep. Joseph was sold into slavery because, his brothers was jealous of him. So they sold him into slavery. He rose up in power. I want to say he became viceroy. He was like viceroy in Egypt's society. The rest of the Israelites came over. 70, like I said, 70 souls came over, and he set them up. They didn't even know who he was at first, but then he revealed himself. He set them up in the land of Goshen, right? No one wanted to be over there. He set them up over there. Long story short, Israel does what Israel does and makes babies. Ain't that right, Barack? Israel does what Israel does. Let's give Barack a hand. Having a baby shower this coming Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Right. Right. So right. Yeah. There is an open registry open, online out there. But Israel does what Israel does and make babies. Get money, make babies, make everything fly. You know what I'm saying? Be a asset to society. And we made Egypt the greatest stinking place on earth. I ain't gonna say the greatest place, the greatest superpower on earth at the time. We made them so wealthy and so powerful, and we were becoming more powerful as well because we weren't assimilating into them. Why? Because those laws was already in effect before Moses wrote it down. You know what I'm saying? Their people was like, all right, well, something's got to give, because these guys came over here 70 souls, and now they're multiplying like all get out, and they're holding power too, right? So we gotta do something about this. We got to make them the enemy, and we got to make them slaves. That's exactly what they did. Why? Because they thought that if Egypt went to war with anybody else, they would side with their enemy and then overthrow Egypt. So they put Israel into servitude, into slavery. That's what happened, right? One day, this whole went on for like 400 years. One day, one of the pharaohs said that believed that there was going to be somebody that was going to overthrow him. So they red-rummed all newborn babies, all newborn baby boys. Right? Now here's part of the fallacy. Here's part of the fallacy. I don't know if you know this, but where they have the ancient pyramids and whatnot, that's in Egypt. Your idea of what Egyptians look like now, it's not what they look like back then. And if you actually look at where it is, it's closer. Those pyramids is closer to Sudan. And the Sudanese people are some of the blackest people on earth. Slovakia. If you ever met Sudanese, Manute and Bobo, look at them cats. Look like this. You know what I'm saying? Some of the darkest people on earth. Now, where they messed up at, they messed up the whole thing. Oh, everything was messed up. But anyway, one of the things they messed up was like they made them look like this. Made them look like this. The Egyptians and the Israelites, they made them look like this. In a land where even if you do look like this, you don't look like this because and the Egyptians, they wore diapers and like maybe little headrests and whatnot. So how could they survive with all that heat out there with the sun beaming on them like that? Anyway, I digress. But anyway, they had to make the Egyptians white in the show. They had to make the Egyptians white because in order to pass off the Hebrew baby, which was Moses, because they skated him away and put him in a basket and let him go up the Nile River and whatnot. An Egyptian princess found the baby and adopted it and made it her own. Now, if the Egyptians are black and the Hebrews were white, how in the hell could a black woman adopt a white baby and no one think it's not adopt, give birth to a white baby and no one bats an eye and they think it's Egyptian? You see how the way they're messing up? See, it just doesn't make any sense. Moreover, Moses, does what he does. He slays an Egyptian, and then he goes on a run. Thereafter, he goes on a run. Why? Because they're gonna punish him. He knew he was Israel. He knew he was a Hebrew. He found it out, and when he saw that his people was being oppressed, he did something that he thought was right and slay an Egyptian. And then when he saw two Israelites fighting, he came to them and said, "Hey man, what y'all doing?" He was like, "What, you gonna kill us too? Like you slayed the Egyptian?" He was like, "Man, my own people." My own people. So he on a run. And when he finds these Midianites, lo and behold, the Midianites are black. Can you believe that? No, in the show, the Midianites are black. He marries one of the Midianites, right? He has two sons. And this is what kills me. You know that joke where Cat Williams was talking about Michael Jackson's babies, He was like, you can't have this nigga stick his nigga rod in this white woman and come out with blonde hair, blue-eyed babies. Well, that's what they did in the show. That I'm serious. They didn't even have it mixed, like kind of, light skin, dark skin, whatever. It was a straight up white baby. Who damn baby is this? Who damn white baby is this? Now that one might be mine, but this one got 850 as a credit score as a toddler right here, right now. That ain't my baby. That is a grown white man right there. That's how they had to do it. I'm like, are you serious? And then the second baby was brown. And the reason why they did it like that was because the first, in our culture, the firstborn is the heir. So they made it to where the firstborn looks white and the secondborn looks, brown. Y'all niggas, man, I can't stand y'all. I seriously cannot stand y'all. Long story short, he sees a burning bush. He goes up. The Most High gives him an order to go to Egypt, to let his people go. He goes there first to say, hey, I just want my people to go out to the desert to serve our God for 3 days. Pharaoh says, get out of here, right? You got 3 days to be serving the Most High God or your God. You know what? Y'all gonna make clay without straw. That's an essential part of making the bricks. So he said, now y'all got to make double, and y'all can't use the binding agent to do it. Figure it out. So he was like, all right, well, shoot. We was just asking for 3 days. Well, now we want to leave, and we ain't coming back. Now I'm saying let my people go, right? Goes back and forth. Now in the show, this is how weak they is. I remember I was in a council with General Yahanna, and General Haas was saying, I don't care what happens, we ain't gonna be doing nothing in secret. We're gonna be out in the open with the things that we do. If we say we're gonna do this, this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be out in public display. It's not gonna be no hidden type thing. We're gonna do this in public, right? So in the show, they use that as, hey, we're just tell Pharaoh that we're just gonna go out into the desert and worship our God for 3 days, and that should give us enough time to just leave. Right. I'm like, that's not just no. They wanted to do like some roundabout way to like sneak out of Egypt and just leave. No, that's not us. That's not gangster. We tell Pharaoh, hey, at first we just wanted the 3 days. And that's actually in the scripture. We just wanted the 3 days. But now we want out forever. Plagues came. Pharaoh hardened his heart. Each time he would say, you know what, go ahead. You know what, chill. I want it back. Nah, I don't make promises. I can make promises I don't have to keep. Who are you? And one plague led after another until it came to the plague where he couldn't resist it anymore. And the plague was the firstborn of everything in Egypt was put to bed. You know what I'm saying? Firstborn in Egypt. That means firstborn man, firstborn woman, firstborn dog, firstborn cat, firstborn insect. Everything got to go. Only ones that were saved was the Most High God gave specific instructions to Moses to give to the people of Israel. You're going to buy a lamb, or you're going to get a lamb, and you're going to mingle it with bitter herbs, and you're going to knead the dough, or you're not even going to knead the dough. You're going to make bread. You're not going to wait for it to leaven, because when it comes time, you're going to have to get the hell out of Dodge. You'll have to leave quick, fast, and in a hurry. So you can't even make it rise. You're going to have unleavened bread. And if you don't have enough money to have a lamb, go with your neighbor. And y'all put in together, or several neighbors, and come into one house and make that lamb and eat that lamb. And when you slay that lamb, you're going to take the blood and you're going to put it on the doorposts of all the domicile, all the homes in Goshen where the Israelites stayed, the Israelite slaves stayed. That is going to be a sign that the death angel will pass over you and continue on down the road and slaying everything, every firstborn in Egypt. This included Egypt's Pharaoh's son. Pharaoh's son was part of those sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I on the thing, you had people were saying, well, why is God killing everybody? People were saying that theologians put all the killing on the death angel, and God didn't do it. Like, are you serious? One other girl came to her father, and when she found out about the Passover story, she was like, "But why did God let this happen? He killed, kids and babies and all these other people. I thought God was the God of everybody." And the pastor was like, "Well, that's it's kind of hard to explain. I can't explain that." And the explanation was that it wasn't God; it was this death angel. Well, let me tell you something. Nothing happens without God's approval. Nothing happens without God's approval. The Most High God sent that angel and gave him specific instructions on what to do, on who to get and who not to get. Anybody who had the blood of the lamb on their posts, pass over them. Everybody else needs to get God. And when they was in there, they heard the cries of Egypt going out. That was a scary night. That was a scary, scary night. Why? Because at the end of it, they said there was not one household in Egypt that did not lose somebody. Not one household in Egypt that did not lose somebody. They heard the screams and cries of their loved ones dying all around them. And they knew that the Egyptians knew that it was their God. And they didn't think that, oh man, they might come through and, slay us, because the Most High God sent a death angel to go out there and handle that work. So they was, man, just imagine you eating your lamb. Moses told y'all to pack your stuff and just be ready to run. You couldn't even eat the leavened bread because they said we had to get up out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry. If anybody's ever made unleavened bread, all it really is like some salt, some flour, and some water. You mash it together and boom, put it on the stove. It's almost like a tortilla. It's quick, fast, and in a hurry. Now you mean to tell me that we can't even have time to make it rise, to have leaven to make it rise? We have to get up out of here right that night. And you hear people dying. You hear the screams and the cries. Man, after that night was over, Egypt was like, here, take these earrings, take these chains, take these rings, you know what I'm saying? Take these bracelets, take these, these gold cups and these chalices and whatnot, and race up out of here. Because if y'all stay here, we gonna die. We all gonna get God. So they took all these stuff. They took all this stuff and they bounced. That's the Passover. Now you're right, Shalom. Now there was a Jewish. I can't stand these cats. Here's another reason why they make this so. Like I know the truth. On their way out, or after they left Egypt and they was traveling to the promised land, we all know that Amalek followed them and hunted the weak and elderly and the sick at the rear. But when they showed them in the show, you couldn't tell what they were. We know who Amalek is. We know who y'all is. And if you don't know who Amalek is, that's the so-called Jew. So-called the small hats, the Jewish man. And if Saul had done his job, we wouldn't be having this problem here right now. If Saul had done his job way back when the Most High God told him to do something and do it thoroughly, we won't be having this problem. If you don't know what I mean, just read 1 Kings, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see. I think no, it's not even the 1 King. I don't say it's in Samuel's. Yeah, it's in Samuel's. Read Samuel. Read the book of Samuel's, and you'll know what I'm talking about, right? So Egypt gave them all their wealth and told them to get the hell up out of here. Get up out of here, or we're going to die, right? The Most High God led them out with a cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. Pharaoh was like, "Oh hell no!" He done came to his senses. Tried to run them down. They caught up to Israel. They caught up to Israel. Israel was at the Red Sea. Most High held them back with a pillar of fire. Moses stuck out. Israel was like, "Yo, y'all brothers out here to die? What the hell, Moses? What you done did? We could have died back there." You know what I'm saying? Moses held out. He was like, "Man, calm down, chill out. I got this." You know who sent me? Stop playing, son. Right? You know, like, all right, check this out. On God, so Pete, right? You know, went like that. The Red Sea split it. They walked across on dry land. Now, I don't know if you ever, Salakia, I don't know if you've ever seen a place where it's raining. Come on, man, stop playing. I don't know if you've ever seen a place where it's raining, but after it's raining, the ground is wet. If you ever walked out onto the grass when the ground is wet, it's wet and it sinks in. They said they walked across on dry land after the sea parted. That's tough business right there. Walked across on dry land. That pillar of fire went away. Pharaoh was like, "Charge." They went in there. Sea closed. They got yes. Yeah. They got swallowed up. No diddy. They got swallowed up. And people are saying, this can't be real. They crossed on a narrow part. But latest archaeology shows that there's coral on, chariot parts and old Egyptian armor and swords and stuff like that in that same region. Now, this is what we celebrate. Now, like I was saying, there was a Jewish cat that says we don't celebrate the death of our enemy. It wasn't their enemies, and that's the difference. Why? Because they haven't been oppressed. They celebrate when they get a Nazi, 103-year-old Nazi. They celebrate that, and they put justice on them. We was oppressed by these bastards, and we celebrate the destruction of the Hamites by the hand of the Most High God. And April 20th, we're going to celebrate this one more again. Get with your camp leaders and find out the information to Lord's 55th annual Passover that's coming up April 20th. April 20th is going to be in Durham, North Carolina. All right, and with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Barak.
Security announcements. We at the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander Jenny Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or his sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory, whatever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation, of course, as was just stated, you got the Lord's 55th annual Passover going down in Durham, North Carolina, April 20th. You understand? It's going to be a week long of events beginning that Wednesday, a couple days before the 20th, beginning that Wednesday, all the way up until Sunday, closing out with the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You understand? Get your transportation in order. You want to make sure you paid your Passover fee of $200 if you're 17 years of age or older. You understand? Make sure that that Passover fee is paid in full if you're 17 years or older. Of course, it's covering all sorts of events. There's going to be an all-black party. You got the lamb slaughter. You got the children's party. You got the daycare. You got the Passover itself, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Jeremiah Hyman's scripture breakdown class. There's going to be a lot of events that's going on. Bus fares and bus routes. All of these things are going to be there, you understand, to make this trip, full throttle through. With that, once again, it's going down April 20th in Durham, North Carolina. If you have any comments or concern, what you want to do is contact the camp leader that is in your zone or in your city. You understand? Is there anything you want to add on that? All right, remind Akim and Akwati tonight, Commander Yahanna is going live 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All Commander Yahanna is going to be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you like and share to that stream. Comment, get in the comment section, run the comments up, the whole 9 yards. All right. Remind Akim and Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black pants, black shirts, black headband, a scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel. We're going to give one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Bashem, Yahshua Barakatham. Yajamatar, class dismissed.
Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yahanna, presents the Lord's 55th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yahanna is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Hey, what up? It's your girl, China Monday. Miss I cook, I clean, I fuck, I shut up. Thursday, April 18th, is going down the annual I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General Yahanna's all-black party at the Durham Armory. Doors open at 8 p.m. featuring live music and DJ by Party Boy Ticket. It's the annual concert series, and it's gonna be a movie. I need y'all to pull up or shut up. I shut up.